Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, November 27th, 2023. First show back from the Thanksgiving break. We have NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL to go over from the weekend. Look at everything going on tonight. We have soccer as well. We have this segment that I was supposed to do on Wednesday called What We're Thankful For. We'll go through every professional sports team in the country, from the NFL to the NBA to the NHL to Major League Baseball. For that, then we'll recap Wednesday night's episode of Survivor, and we'll do news and notes. No best bet today because we are not in a state with legalized gambling. So, football is where we begin today. We'll go over all the results from yesterday, and then we have Monday Night Football tonight. And we'll begin with Thanksgiving. Packers upset the Lions 29-22. Cowboys beat the Commanders 45-10. 49ers beat the Seahawks 31-13. And then the Black Friday special, Dolphins beat the Jets 34-13. And then Sunday, Steelers beat the Bengals 16-10. Jaguars beat the Texans 24-21. Colts beat the Bucs 27-20. Falcons beat the Saints 24-15. Giants beat the Patriots 10-7. Titans beat the Panthers 17-10. Rams beat the Cardinals 37-14. Broncos beat the Browns 29-12. Chiefs beat the Raiders 31-17. Eagles beat the Bills 37-34 in overtime, which was arguably the game of the year. And the Ravens beat the Chargers 20-10 on Sunday Night Football. All right, tonight, 8:15, ABC and ESPN. You have the Bears and the Vikings. Obviously, no Cousins, no Hicks, no Davenport, probably no Justin Jefferson, no Deontay Foreman for Chicago. My projection here is Vikings only by 2. Total 45 2/5. If I was still in my Survivor pool, I would not give out Minnesota because of all the injuries. I would have went with Pittsburgh or Denver instead, and both of those teams obviously won because they were facing backup quarterbacks. Obviously, if Burrow plays, Cincy wins, and if Watson plays, the Browns probably are more competitive, but Denver did put up 27, which is pretty impressive for them against the Browns defense. And it's 3-43.5. So for this one, I'm going to do a slight over. The argument here is that Dobbs is more familiar in the Viking offense, and Jordan Addison, I think, will come along a little bit. And that running back Chandler's been pretty good too. So I'm going to say slight over. I'm going to give out my pick for this game. Okay, now we'll move on to college football. We'll go over the results from the weekend. So Thursday, Thanksgiving, number 12 Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 17-7. And then on Friday, number 13 Oklahoma beats TCU 69-45. Number 17 Iowa beats Nebraska 13-10. Miami beats BC 45-20. Memphis beats Temple 45-21. Toledo beats Central Michigan 32-17. Ohio beats Akron 25-14. Number 23 Tulane beats UTSA 29-16. Utah State beats New Mexico 44-41 in double overtime. Number 9 Missouri beats Arkansas 48-14. Boise State beats Air Force 27-19. Number 7 Texas beats Texas Tech 57-7. Number 11 Penn State beats Michigan State 42-0. And number 6 Oregon beats number 16 Oregon State 31-7. The Saturday results in the game. Number 3 Michigan beats number 2 Ohio State 30-24. It was the best version that you could have asked for in what could very well be the last big version of this game in a while, because both these teams are rolling. We have the 12-team playoff next year, and you never know what rosters are going to be like and the coaches and whatnot. So that was a great finish to that game. Kentucky upsets number 10 Louisville 38-31. Number 14 LSU beats Texas A&M 42-30. Purdue beats Indiana 35-31. Sam Houston beats Middle Tennessee 23-20. UConn beats UMass 31-18. Duke beats Pitt 30-19. UCF beats Houston 27-13. SMU beats Navy 59-14. Troy beats Southern Miss 35-17. Northern Illinois beats Kent State 37-27. Miami of Ohio beats Ball State 17-15. Rice beats FAU 24-21. Syracuse beats Wake 35-31. Tulsa beats East Carolina 29-27. North Texas beats UAB 45-42. Old Dominion beats Georgia State 25-24. Western Kentucky beats FIU 41-28. Utah beats Colorado 23-17. Louisiana beats Yale Monroe 52-21. San Jose State beats UNLV 37-31. Number 8 Alabama beats Auburn 27-24. And an insane finish. Alabama had to convert on 4th and goal from the 31-yard line pretty much to win that game. It was insane of a finish that you'll see. You could argue it's their version of the kick 6. Number 15 Arizona beats Arizona State 59-23. Number 20 Oklahoma State beats BYU 40-34 in double overtime. Number 21 Tennessee beats Vandy 48-24. Number 25 Liberty beats UTEP 42-38. Northwestern beats Illinois 45-43. Wisconsin beats Minnesota 28-14. Maryland beats Rutgers 42-24. Virginia Tech beats Virginia 55-17. App State beats Georgia Southern 55-27. James Madison beats Coastal Carolina 56-14. Marshall beats Arkansas State 35-21. Number 4 Washington beats Washington State 24-21. New Mexico State beats Jacksonville State 2017. Number 5 Florida State beats Florida 24-15. Number 18 Notre Dame beats Stanford 56-23. West Virginia beats Baylor 34-31. That was a chaotic finish. Texas State beats South Alabama 52-44. Number 1 Georgia beats Georgia Tech 31-23. Georgia obviously looking ahead. Number 24 Clemson beats South Carolina 16-7. Kansas beats Cincinnati 49-16. South Florida beats Charlotte 48-14. Iowa State beats number 19 Kansas State 42-35. Number 22 NC State beats North Carolina 39-20. Wyoming beats Nevada 42-6. Cal beats UCLA 33-7 in the final Pac-12 game as currently constituted. And perhaps the final Pac-12 game ever in football. San Diego State beats Fresno State 33-18, and Hawaii beats Colorado State 27-24. All right, so later in the week, we're going to do bowl projections before the bowls come out. And then in a week from now on the Monday podcast, we're going to compare my final bowl projections to how the bowls played out. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, now move on to college basketball. This segment's going to be a bear. We're going to go over all the results and look ahead to today's games. We'll begin with Wednesday. Iona beats Buffalo 89-64. Number 14 North Carolina beats Northern Iowa 91-69. App State beats Murray State 67-57. Chicago State beats Morgan State 84-83. Georgia State beats Little Rock 93-90 in OT. Southern Utah beats Texas State 74-67. Colorado State beats BC 86-74. Louisiana beats Long Beach State 92-82. South Dakota beats Northland 148. Tennessee Tech beats Presbyterian 79-75 in OT. Rhode Island beats Johnson and Wales 97-59. Harvard beats Colgate 76-70. UMass beats Central Connecticut 89-60. Number 1 Kansas beats number 7 Tennessee 69-60. Sam Houston beats Grambling 86-68. Villanova beats Texas Tech 85-69. Austin Peay beats Sacramento State 74-71. Morehead State beats Midway 94-53. Tennessee Martin beats North Alabama 105-103 double overtime. Radford beats Northern Colorado 79-68. Ole Miss beats Temple 77-76. Number 8 Creighton beats Loyola Chicago 88-65. Princeton beats Old Dominion 76-56. Omaha beats Mid-American Christian 76-59. Louisiana Tech beats McNeese 71-62. American beats Mount St. Mary's 68-65. Number 2 Purdue beats number 4 Marquette 78-75. Campbell beats the Citadels 65-58. Wright State beats Illinois State 74-49. Air Force beats VMI 64-54. Memphis beats Michigan 71-67. Tarleton State beats Bakersfield 59-40. Merrimack beats NCAT 96-73. Number 24 Virginia beats West Virginia 56-54. Southern Illinois beats New Mexico State 81-54. Northern Kentucky beats A&M Corpus Christi 88-73. Number 13 Baylor beats Oregon State 88-72. Cincinnati beats Georgia Tech 89-54. Vermont beats Northern Vermont 106-57. Missouri beats SC State 82-59. Indiana State beats Pepperdine 92-82. Cleveland State beats Tennessee State 72-70. St. Fran PA beats Franciscan 107-54. Queens beats Fairleigh Dickinson 94-84. Notre Dame beats Maryland Eastern 75-55. Maine beats South Florida 70-59. St. Bonaventure beats Bucknell 67-61. Hofstra beats High Point 97-92 in overtime. Sanford beats Alabama State 99-67. Texas Arlington beats Alcorn State 82-69. Incarnate Word beats Jacksonville State 67-66. South Dakota State beats Southern Miss 65-54. Seattle beats Idaho 92-55. Nebraska beats Duquesne 89-79. Kansas State beats Central Arkansas 156. Number 20 Arkansas beats Stanford 77-74 in double OT. Wisconsin beats SMU 69-61. Number 22 James Madison beats Fresno State 95-64. Santa Barbara beats Westmont 91-79. Denver beats Colorado Christian 168. Eastern Washington beats Walla Walla 97-46. San Fran beats Purdue Fort Wayne 76-60. Montana State beats UC Riverside 69-68. Florida beats Pitt 86-71. Syracuse beats Chalmers 105-56. New Mexico beats Rice 90-56. Bradley beats UTEP 63-59. UC Irvine beats Toledo 77-71. Number 11 Gonzaga beats UCLA 69-65. And Tulane, not Toledo, beats Cal 84-81. All right, Thanksgiving Day. Number 12 Texas A&M beats Penn State 89-77. Texas Tech beats Northern Iowa 72-70. Loyola Chicago beats BC 71-68. Villanova upsets number 14 North Carolina 83-81 in OT. That's an impressive win for Kyle Neptune and Villanova. Probably his biggest win. But again, that's the battle of the teams that underachieved last year. So that's kind of funny. Those two hooked up in the battle for Atlantis. Number 19, FAU beats Butler 92-86. Oklahoma beats Iowa 79-67. Number 3, Arizona beats number 21 Michigan State 74-68. Colorado State beats number 8 Creighton 69-48. Number 23, USC beats Seton Hall 71-63. Iowa State beats VCU 68-64. Memphis beats number 20 Arkansas 84-79. Virginia Tech beats Boise 82-75. Michigan beats Stanford 83-78. NC State beats Vandy 84-78. And BYU beats Arizona State 77-49. All right, Black Friday was a big day in the sport. Number 19 FA beats number 12 Texas A&M 96-89. UNC Greensboro beats UMKC 76-64. Mercer beats Tennessee State 60-59. Xavier beats Bryant 175. Number 14 North Carolina beats number 20 Arkansas 87-72. Jacksonville State beats UTSA 77-62. Wake beats Charleston Southern 71-56. Delaware beats Brown 67-59. Butler beats Penn State 88-78. Number 5 UConn beats Manhattan 90-60. Number 25, Mississippi State beats Nichols 74-61. Lipscomb beats UNC Asheville 86-75. Ball State beats Pine Bluff 92-74. Evansville beats Chattanooga 88-77 in OT. Indiana State beats Toledo 76-74. Alabama State beats NCAA 88-73. LIU beats A&M Corpus Christi 83-68. Monmouth beats Belmont 93-84. Western Michigan beats Southeast Louisiana 68-67. Longwood beats Delaware State 84-82 in double overtime. Pitt beats Oregon State 76-51. Oklahoma upsets number 23 USC 72-70. Villanova beats Memphis 79-63. Number 6 Houston beats Montana 79-44. Jacksonville beats Robert Morris 74-65. St. Mary's beats Davidson 89-55. Wazoo beats Utah Tech 93-53. Stanford beats Merrimack 79-71. Irvine beats Rice 83-68. Canisius beats Wofford 76-67. Penn beats Lafayette 74-72. UIC beats Middle Tennessee 70-40. Georgia beats Winthrop 78-69. Troy beats Grambling 80-67. Number 13 Baylor beats Florida 95-91. Va-Tech beats Iowa State 71-62. Number 9 Duke beats Southern Indiana 80-62. Idaho beats UC San Diego 73-70 in OT. Lamar beats Bethune 83-65. Iowa beats Seton Hall 85-72. Texas Tech beats Michigan 73-57. New Mexico beats Pepperdine 90-71. Number 16 Kentucky beats Marshall 118-82. Ohio State beats number 17 Alabama 92-81. Western Kentucky beats Bowling Green 72-65. East Tennessee State beats Alabama A&M 82-71. Providence beats Lehigh 78-64. George Washington beats Ohio 99-94 double overtime. Dayton beats Youngstown State 77-69. New Hampshire beats Fairfield 83-80. Hawaii beats Texas Rio Grande 76-57. Oklahoma State beats Houston Christian 90-65. Utah Valley beats Western Colorado 87-52. LC beats North Florida 75-63. Alcorn State beats Clemson 90-69. Arizona State beats Vandy 80-67. Boise beats VCU 65-61. Illinois beats Western Illinois 84-52. Northern Iowa beats Stanford 73-51. Cal State Northridge beats Miss Valley State 84-48. Pacific beats Lemoyne 73-71. Santa Clara beats Oregon 88-82. BYU beats NC State 95-86. And San Diego beats Arkansas State 71-57. Saturday, Brown beats UMKC 93-83 in overtime. Tennessee State beats Southeast Louisiana 91-77. Missouri beats Loyola Maryland 78-70. Georgetown beats Jackson State 88-81. Gardner-Webb beats Limestone 92-51. Wagner beats NJIT 64-51. Maryland Eastern loses to Liberty 99-62. Alabama State beats Merrimack 66-60 in overtime. North Dakota beats New Orleans 71-69 in OT. Columbia beats Maine 75-56. VMI beats Clark's Summit 163. Western Michigan beats Mercer 72-66. Ohio beats Middle Tennessee 80-68. Canisius beats WKU 85-77. IUPUI beats Clear U 78-70 in OT. Evansville beats Southeast Missouri 93-74. Princeton beats Northeastern 80-66. SCU Edwardsville beats Detroit 81-67. George Mason beats East Carolina 81-59. William & Mary beats UMBC 96-81. Monmouth beats Lafayette 63-53. Missouri State beats SC State 92-74. St. Bonaventure beats Miami of Ohio 90-60. Binghamton beats Army 75-68. Southern Miss beats Milwaukee 90-84. Tennessee Martin beats Chicago State 94-71. Little Rock beats Tulsa 84-82 in OT. Louisiana Tech beats Dillard 105-65. Texas State beats Texas Arlington 73-66. Green Bay beats St. Thomas 64-51. Eastern Illinois beats Uroka 85-39. Long Beach beats Lamar 83-72. Sanford beats NCAT 101-83. Eastern Michigan beats Central Arkansas 74-71. Number 17 Alabama beats Oregon 99-91. SCFC beats Fort Reed 79-44. Valpo beats Southern 71-59. Howard beats Mount St. Mary's 87-83 in double overtime. UTSA beats Incarnate Word 90-80. Jacksonville beats Fairleigh Dickinson 91-90. Niagara beats St. Frank PA 69-61. Marist beats Bucknell 73-49. NQ beats LIU 72-64. UNC Greensboro beats Delaware 88-77. UNC Wilmington beats Florida Gulf Coast 71-59. Belmont beats Penn 84-79 in overtime. UNC Asheville beats Wofford 85-82 in overtime. Delaware State beats Bethune 72-64. Charlotte beats Georgia State 65-57. UAB beats Furman 92-86. UIC beats George Washington 89-79. Cleveland State beats Alabama A&M 86-59. Loyola Maryland beats UTEP 67-47. Purdue Fort Wayne beats Wittenberg 95-64. St. John's beats Holy Cross 91-45. Richmond beats Queens 90-61. Ohio State beats Santa Clara 86-56. Drake beats Texas Southern 77-71. San Diego State beats Cal 76-67 in overtime. Maryland beats South Alabama 68-55. Wichita State beats Norfolk State 80-67. Sam Houston beats Paul Quinn 78-61. Bowling Green beats Lipscomb 82-61. Arkansas State beats Texas Rio Grande 75-58. St. Louis beats Dartmouth 66-65. Cal Baptist beats Vanguard 69-59. Bradley beats Vermont 79-70. Grand Canyon beats North Dakota State 86-71. Portland beats Willamette 107-84. Northern Illinois beats DePaul 89-79. And Hawaii beats San Diego 77-66. And then Sunday, VCU beats Penn State 86-74. Middle Tennessee beats UMKC 63-59. Asheville beats Western Kentucky 77-67, as in UNC Asheville. Belmont beats Lafayette 79-69. Louisville beats New Mexico State 90-84 in OT. LaSalle beats Coppin State 81-62. App State beats Austin Peay 78-58. Lamar beats Delaware State 80-41 in OT. North Dakota beats Eastern Michigan 72-70. St. Joe's beats Sacred Heart 64-55. Number 19 FAU beats Virginia Tech 84-50. Ohio beats Brown 82-77. Air Force beats South Dakota 58-57. Number 18 Colorado beats Iona 85-68. Lipscomb beats Wofford 85-78. BU beats Northern Vermont 90-49. High Point beats Mount Olive 122-73. Denver beats A&M Commerce 71-61. Chattanooga beats Southeast Missouri 72-56. NC Central beats Coastal Carolina 70-58. Robert Morris beats Fairleigh Dickinson 97-86. Radford beats Notre Dame, Maryland 153. Old Dominion beats Drexel 68-61. Quinnipiac beats Stonehill 80-69. Nebraska beats Fullerton 85-72. Penn beats Monmouth 76-61. Number 15 Texas beats Wyoming 86-63. North Texas beats Angelo State 79-50. SMU beats Yale Monroe 70-57. Longwood beats Bethune 69-48. New Orleans beats Central Arkansas 79-74. Jacksonville State beats Incarnate Word 67-65. American beats I don't know what Hood stands for. But they beat their opponent 103-74. Oh, Hood College. Okay, that makes sense. Bowling Green beats Kenesha 77-73. Towson beats Morgan State 67-58. Rhode Island beats Yale 76-72. Western Carolina beats North Alabama 81-63. Butler beats Boise State 70-56. Long Beach State beats Montana State 75-69. Stetson beats UCF 85-82. George Washington beats UDEL 81-71. Indiana beats Harvard 89-76. UC Riverside beats Bethesda 109-63. Albany beats Siena 87-51 or 86-51. West Virginia beats Bellarmine 62-58. Pacific beats Miss Valley State 68-65 in OT. Charleston beats Kent State 84-78. Seattle beats San Diego, or UC San Diego, 79-67. FIU beats Kennesaw State 91-84. Number 12 Texas A&M beats Iowa State 73-69. UNC Greensboro beats UIC 58-57. Sacramento State beats UC Davis 69-63. And San Francisco beats Minnesota 76-58. Alrighty. Tonight's slate. 6:30 on Fox Sports 20, you have Oakland and Xavier. My line is Xavier by 26, and it is 14.5 and 151.5. I'll lay the points. CBS Sports Network, you have New Hampshire at number 5, UConn. My line's UConn by 40, and it's 31.5, 147.5. I'll lay the points. Springfield, Bryant, we can skip. New Jersey battle, St. Peter, Rutgers. I have Rutgers by 34, and it's 15.5 and 122.5. I'll lay the points at Rutgers. Troy and Eastern Kentucky. I have Eastern by 16. And it's 4.5 and 152.5. I'll lay it with Eastern Kentucky. Presbyterian and Olan. My line is Olan 11.5. It's 3.5, 146.5. I'll lay the points. Manhattan, Fordham. I have Fordham by 25. And it's 11.5 and 133.5. I'll lay it. Western Illinois and Wisconsin on the Big Ten Network. I have Wisconsin by a whopping 43. And it's 27.5 and 135.5. I'll lay it. UMBC and Hampton. I have Hampton 1. And it's 1.5 and 166.5. That's a high total. I'll take the under. We can skip Arkansas Baptist, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Mount Marty College and South Dakota State. Next up, you have at 8 o'clock, Utah Tech and Lindenwood. My line is Lindenwood 10.5. And it's Utah Tech by 3.5, total 143.5. Wrong team's favorite. Give me Lindenwood plus the points and plus 138 outright. Northern Illinois and Northwestern on, it's not on the Big Ten Network. That's weird. Mine's Northwestern 14.5, and it's 11.5 and 142.5. I'll lay with Northwestern. Houston Christian and TCU. Mine's TCU 40.5, and it's 34.5 and 163.5. I'll lay the points. We can skip the following: Loyola, New Orleans, Louisiana, York College, Nebraska, Omaha, Navajo Tech, Weber State, Plate Llama, Nazarene, and San Diego State. Next up, UC Santa Barbara and Fresno State. That's at 9 o'clock. My line is Fresno by 9, and it's 1.5 and 140.5. Oh, lay that was Fresno. That's low. Eastern Washington, Washington State at 10 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. Lines Wazoo 14.5, and it is 13.5 and 148.5. I'll take the over. 11 o'clock on ESPNU, Utah and St. Mary's. This game looks like it's going to be at St. Mary's Pavilion. I have St. Mary's by 3.5 as my line, and it's 4.5 and 133.5. That's a low total. Give me the over. And last but not least, North Dakota State, San Jose State by 1, and it's 8.5 and 133.5. I'll take North Dakota State plus the 8.5 to cover. Okay, now move on to the NBA. So that segment took less than 20 minutes. Bravo. So, we'll go over the results from the long weekend and look ahead to everything tonight. Only 5 games tonight. All right, Wednesday, Hornets over the Wizards, 117-114. Magic over the Nuggets, 124-119. Hawks over the Nets, 147-145 in OT. Celtics over the Bucks, 119-116. Heat over the Cavs, 129-96. Raptors over the Pacers, 132-131. Rockets over the Grizzlies, 111-91. T-Wolves over the Sixers, 112-99. Pelicans over the Kings, 117-112. Thunder over the Bulls, 116-102. Clippers over the Spurs, 109-102. Suns over the Warriors, 123-115. Blazers over the Jazz, 121-105. And the Mavs over the Lakers, 104-101. Friday, in-season tournament. Group C. Magic over the Celtics, 113-96. West Group A. Suns over the Grizzlies, 110-89. East Group C. Raptors over the Bulls, 121-108. East Group A. Pacers over the Pistons, 136-113. East Group B. Knicks come back from 21 down to beat the Heat, 198. That was a stunner of a comeback by the Knicks. West Group B. Rockets upset the Nuggets, 105-86. East Group B. Bucks over the Wizards, 131-128. West Group C. Kings over the Timberwolves, 124-111. West Group C. Warriors over the Spurs, 118-106. And West Group B. Pelicans over the Clippers, 116-106. All right, Saturday, Sixers over the Thunder, 127-123. Nets over the Heat, 112-97. Hawks over the Wizards, 136-108. Lakers over the Cavs, 121-115. Jazz over the Pelicans, 105-100. Clippers over the Mavs, 107-88. Sunday, Bucks over the Blazers, 108-102. Celtics over the Hawks, 113-103. Magic over the Hornets, 130-117. Suns over the Knicks, 116-113 on a game-winning shot by Devin Booker. No Kevin Durant in that game. Booker was just the best guy on the court in that game. He was so good. T-Wolves over the Grizzlies, 119-97. Nets over the Bulls, 118-109. Cavs over the Raptors, 105-102. And the Nuggets over the Spurs, 132-120. All right, 7 o'clock tonight, you have the Wizards and the Pistons. My line's Pistons 3 1/4, total 233 4/5. And we have Pistons 2.5, total 236.5. I like the under. That's a high total. Blazers, Pacers. I have the Pacers 16.5, total 235 and 13/20, and it is 13 and 239.5. Are we in under season? Yes. Give me another under. NBA TV, Lakers, Sixers. My line's Sixers 2 1/4, so 228 7/10, and it's 6 and 231.5. I'm gonna take the Lakers getting the points. Maybe it's because of no LeBron or no AD, but that's high. The Sixers low key have been 500 in their last, 10 games or so. 6 and 4. And Lakers in their last 10 have been better, 7 and 3. Lakers cover that one, but don't win. 9 o'clock Pelicans Jazz. I have the Pelicans 2.5, total 230 and 3/5. And it's 4.5 and 230. I'm going to take the Jazz to cover. And last but not least, 10:30 NBA TV, Nuggets Clippers. My line is the Nuggets 2 1/4 or 2 3/4, total 221 and 7/20. So it looks like Jamal Murray might be back for this one. Why are the Clippers 5.5-point favorites over the champs? That's disrespectful to Jokic, man. Is Jokic out? Like, why are the Clippers favored? The favoritism in the betting market towards a fantasy team is not right. Okay, LeBron and AD questionable. Fine, I get why Philly's a big favorite. Jamal Murray questionable. Like, Jamal Murray is not Jokic. I'm sorry. Denver plus 5.5, plus 166 outright. I'm telling you right now, that would have been best bet had I been in a slate right now that legalizes betting. Okay, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over everything from the weekend, and we'll look ahead to tonight's slate. So, Wednesday was a busy day in the league. Red Wings over the Devils 4-0. Jets over the Lightning 3-2 in OT. Bruins over the Panthers 3-1. Rangers over the Penguins 1-0. Sabres over the Capitals over the Sabres 4-3 in OT. Canes over the Oilers 6-3. Jackets over the Blackhawks 7-3. Isles over the Flyers 3-2. Preds over the Flames 4-2. Blues over the Coyotes 6-5. Golden Knights over the Stars 2-1 in OT. Avs over the Canucks 5-2. Habs over the Ducks 4-3. And the Kraken over the Sharks 7-1. All right, Black Friday, Red Wings over the Bruins 5-2, Rangers over the Flyers 3-1, Blackhawks over the Leafs 4-3 in OT, Oilers over the Caps 5-0, Preds over the Blues 8-3, Jackets over the Devils 2-1, Kings over the Ducks 5-2, Habs over the Sharks 3-2 in a shootout, Sabres over the Pens 3-2, Isles over the Sens 5-3, Bolts over the Canes 8-2, Jets over the Panthers 3-0, Flames over the Stars 7-4, Avs over the Wild 3-2, and the Canucks over the Kraken 5-1. All right, Saturday. Rangers over the Bruins 7-4, Kings over the Habs 4-0, Devils over the Sabres 7-2, Pens over the Leafs 3-2, Flyers over the Isles 1-0 in a shootout, Avs over the Flames 3-1, Coyotes over the Golden Knights 2-0, and the Sharks over the Canucks 4-3. Red Wings over the Wild 4-1. Now we're in the Sunday. Blues over the Blackhawks 4-2, Canes over the Jackets 3-2, Preds over the Jets 3-2, and the Oilers over the Ducks 8-2. So Edmonton's been a little better since the coaching change. All right. 7 o'clock tonight, Sabres Rangers from the Garden. Rangers minus 230, Sabres plus 188, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 132, Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 110. I'm tempted to pick Buffalo plus 188, let down for the Rangers after the Bruins win. But I'm not going to go there, although it is tempting. I mean, instead, let's go over 2.5 Sabre goals, minus 110. That's the play. Panthers Sens. Panthers minus 126 cents, plus 105, over under 6.5. Overs minus 138, unders plus 112. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 180 cents, plus 1.5 is minus 220. The Senators are just bad. I'm going to lay the 1.5 on the puck line with the Panthers. Bruins Blue Jackets. Bruins minus 250, Jackets plus 205, over under 6.5, overs plus 102, unders minus 124. Bruins minus 1.5 is even money, Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 120. I'm laying the 1.5 with the Bruins. It's a bounce back spot after losing to the Rangers, so minus 1.5 at even money. 9 o'clock, Lightning Avs. Avs minus 150, Lightning plus 125, over under 6.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Lightning plus 1.5 is minus 194. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 160. Here we have 2 of the last 3 Stanley Cup champions. So, obviously, the 2 before Vegas. So, for this one, I like the over. 9:30, Golden Knights Flames. Vegas minus 118. Calgary minus 102. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 108. Unders minus 132. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 205. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 255. I'm going to go with Vegas minus 118. And in 10:30, Caps Sharks. Capitals minus 210, Sharks plus 172, over under 6.5, overs plus 112, unders minus 138. Caps minus 1.5 is plus 116, Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 140. I like the over in that game as well. Okay, now move on to soccer. We will go over the results from the weekend. Look at anything going on today. We'll start with the MLS playoffs. So Saturday, Columbus beats Orlando 2-0 in additional extra time. Late goals by Christian Ramirez in the 93rd minute and Cucho Hernandez in the 118th minute. Do it for Columbus. Rodrigo Schlegel gets red carded in that one. And Cincinnati beats Philadelphia 1-0. It was a great game. Cincy wins it in the 94th minute. by your son, Mascara. Very clutch goal. What a dramatic win for Cincinnati. Yet another crushing loss for the Philadelphia Union. And then Sunday, Houston beats KC 1-0. Goal scored by Franco Escobar in the 39th minute. They hold off Sporting KC. And then LAFC beats Seattle 1-0 on the road. Goal by Dennis Bouanga. And then the second is the Final Four in soccer. So we'll get to that when that comes. All right, we'll do Premier League first. All right, Saturday, Man City, Liverpool 1-1 draw. West Ham over Burnley 2-1. Luton over Crystal Palace 2-1. Newcastle over Chelsea 4-1. Brighton over Nottingham Forest 3-2. Bournemouth over Sheffield United 3-1. And Arsenal beats Brentford 1-0. Sunday, Aston Villa beats Tottenham 2-1. And Man United beats Everton 3-0. And then today, 3 o'clock, Fulham and Wolves. Fulham plus 135. Wolves plus 220. Draw plus 220. I'm going to go with Fulham at home and plus 135. Now we'll do La Liga. On Friday, Alaves over Granada 3-1. Saturday, Rayo Barcelona 1-1 draw. Valencia Celta Vigo 0-0 draw. Getafe over Almeria 2-1. And Atletico over Mallorca 1-0. Sunday, Villarreal over Osasuna 3-1. Real Sociedad over Sevilla 2-1. Real Madrid over Cadiz 3-0. Betis over Las Palmas 1-0. And then today at 3 o'clock, you have Girona and Athletic. So, Girona plus 110, Athletic plus 210, draw plus 260. I'm going to go Girona FC at plus 110. There would have been a lot of nominees for best bet today. Serie A, Saturday, Salernitana over Lazio 2-1, Napoli over Atalanta 2-1, Milan over Fiorentina 1-0. And then Sunday, Cagliari, Monza 1-1 draw, Sassuolo over Empoli 4-3. Frosinone over Genoa 2-1. AS Roma over Udinese 3-1. And Juventus over Milan 1-1 draw. And then today, 12:30 at Verona and Lecce. Verona plus 170, Lecce plus 185, draw plus 185. I'm going to go with the draw plus 185. Neither of these seems very good. And then Bologna and Torino. Bologna plus 140, Torino plus 230, draw plus 195. I'm going to go with Torino. I'm going to go with Bologna at home and plus 140. I almost pulled the trigger there on the upset, but I couldn't do it. All right, Liga MX. Thanksgiving, Athletic San Luis over Lyon 3-2, and Santos over Mazatlan 2-1. And then Lyon over Santos 3-2 on Sunday. And then we have the first legs over in the playoff here. So that's exciting. All right, Bundesliga Friday. Bayern over Cologne 1-0. Saturday, Union Berlin Augsburg 1-1 draw. Dortmund over Gladbach 4-2. Freiburg Darmstadt 1-1 draw. Wolfsburg over Leipzig 2-1. Leverkusen over Bremen 3-0. And Stuttgart over Frankfurt 2-1. Sunday, Heidenheim Bochum 0-0 draw. Hoffenheim Mainz 1-1 draw. French League 1. Friday at PSG over Monaco 5-2. Saturday, Lens over Clermont Foot 3-0. Strasbourg Marseille 1-1 draw. And then Sunday, Nice over Toulouse 1-0. Metz over Lorient 3-2. Brest over Montpellier 3-1. Nantes and Le Havre AC 0-0 draw. Rennes over Reims 3-1. And Lille over Lyon 2-0. Dutch Eredivisie. Saturday, Feyenoord over Excelsior 4-2. PSV over FC 3-0. Heerenveen over Fortuna 3-0. Ajax over Vitesse 5-0. RKC Waldwick over PC Zwolle 2-1. Then Sunday, Heracles over Almere City 5-0. AC Alkmaar over FC Volendam 3-0. Go Ahead Eagles, NEC 1-1 draw. And FC Utrecht over Sparta 2-1. And then we have the ELC. Friday, Rotherham Leeds 1-1 draw. And then Saturday, Birmingham over Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Bristol City over Borough 3-2. Huddersfield Southampton 1-1 draw. Leicester over Watford 2-0. Coventry over Millwall 3-0. Norwich City over QPR 1-0. Plymouth over Sunderland 2-1. Cardiff over Preston 2-1. Blackburn over Stoke 3-0. Swansea Hull 2-2 draw. West Brom over Ipswich 2-0. And then this league plays tomorrow, so we got to remember that for tomorrow's podcast. Okay, now I decided to do a fun little segment called What We're Thankful For. We're doing something for all 4 professional sports teams about what they should be thankful for. I can't really go into detail with everybody because of timing for the show today. So without further ado, here we go. So the NFL. And by the way, we're going in alphabetical order by team in each league. All right, so the NFL. So the Arizona Cardinals. The Will Anderson trade. Atlanta. Being in a weak division. Baltimore. Healthy Lamar Jackson. Buffalo. Josh Allen. Carolina. 2 defensive cornerstones in Brian Burns and J.C. Horn. Chicago. The Bryce Young trade. Cincinnati. Joe Burrow. Cleveland, an awesome defense. Dallas, blue chippers at key positions. Obviously, Dak and CeeDee Lamb, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, Trayvon Diggs got injured. That's unfortunate. Obviously, Zach Martin on the offensive line. Denver, Sean Payton. Detroit, an offense that can score with anyone. Green Bay, a solid defense with blue chippers like Jair Alexander. You could argue the safety is a blue chipper. Savage, and obviously Rashawn Gary on the pass rush. Houston, C.J. Stroud. Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. Las Vegas, getting rid of Josh McDaniels. Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay. Miami, healthy Tua Tagovailoa. Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell. New England, new beginnings on the horizon. New Orleans, young building blocks and blue chippers. Obviously, Marshall Lattimore's hurt. That's unfortunate. You still have Alvin Kamara. You have Chris Olave now. You have Demario Davis on defense. New York Giants, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. New York Jets, young blue chippers around the roster. Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin. San Francisco, the best roster in the league. Although Philadelphia might have something to say about that. Seattle, the Russell Wilson trade. Tampa Bay, veterans still keeping the team competitive. Tennessee, Mike Vrabel. Washington, new ownership. Although the Seattle one, Russell Wilson's playing better, so maybe that trade doesn't look as good for them, but it landed in Christian Gonzalez. Or I'm sorry, Devin Weatherspoon. I knew he was one of those young corners. And I think they have one more pick left in that deal, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Major League Baseball. Arizona, their World Series run. Atlanta, homegrown core. With all those guys they have. Baltimore, excellent young core. Boston, Rafael Devers. Chicago, ownership willing to spend. And I'm talking about the Cubs. The Chicago White Sox, a new front office. Cincinnati, promising young core. Cleveland, the pitching factory that they've developed over the past decade plus. Colorado, the home field for stat boosting. Detroit, Spencer Torkelson. Houston, the 2022 title. Kansas City, Bobby Witt Jr. The Angels, an owner willing to spend. The Dodgers, doing whatever it takes to win. So those two are different because I think the Dodgers, to me, are a team more willing to overpay prospects for somebody. And the Angels really don't have a farm system to do that. Miami, making the playoffs this past season, just to improve the reputation of that franchise. Milwaukee, William Contreras, good young franchise catcher. Minnesota, Royce Lewis. New York Mets, Steve Cohen. New York Yankees, Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole. Oakland, the eventual move to Vegas. Philadelphia, Bryce Harper. Pittsburgh, good young talent. St. Louis, Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. San Diego, an aggressive front office. San Francisco, hiring Bob Melvin. Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. Tampa Bay, Kevin Cash. Texas, being the world champions. Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And Washington, the sellers trades they made over the past several years. The Scherzer-Turner trade. And what was the other one that they hit it out of the ballpark with? There was that one, and there was another one, too, that pretty much has changed their franchise for the better in the long term. But yeah, it was a Scherzer-Turner deal with the Dodgers, and there was one more trade that netted them some good. The Juan Soto trade got them C.J. Abrams and some good pitching prospects. All right, the NBA. Atlanta, Trae Young. Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Brooklyn, Sean Marks. Charlotte, new ownership. Chicago, Alex Caruso, for someone to overpay in a trade. Cleveland, the core they have. Dallas, Luka Doncic. Denver, Nikola Jokic and the 2023 title. Detroit, Kate Cunningham. Golden State, Steph Curry. Houston, Ime Udoka. Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton. Clippers, Steve Ballmer. Lakers, LeBron James. Memphis, John Morant, the player. Miami, Eric Spoelstra, and the finals run they had this past year. Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. New Orleans, an active front office. New York, Jalen Brunson. Oklahoma City, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And even Chet Holmgren, now for that matter. Orlando, Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. Philadelphia, Joel Embiid. Phoenix, Devin Booker. Portland, Scoot Henderson. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama. Toronto, Masai Ujiri. Utah, Will Hardy. And Washington, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole for somebody to overpay potentially in a trade. And the NHL, the Anaheim Ducks, a good young core. Arizona, Clayton Keller. Boston, David Pasternak. Buffalo, an up-and-coming young core. Calgary, Elias Lindholm. Carolina, Ron Bindamore. Chicago, Connor Bedard. Colorado, Nathan McKinnon. Columbus, promising young talent. Dallas, Jake Ottinger. Detroit, Dylan Larkin. Edmonton, Connor McDavid. Florida, last season's finals run. The Kings, Anze Kopitar and Kevin Fiala. Minnesota, Kirill Kaprizov. Montreal, a breath air of young talent. Nashville, Juicy Saros. New Jersey, Jack Hughes. Islanders, Ilya Sorokin. Rangers, Igor Shesterkin. Ottawa, Brady Tkachuk. Philadelphia, Carter Hart. Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby. San Jose, Thomas Hertl. Seattle, young talent that they have now and coming in the pipes. St. Louis, Robert Thomas. Tampa Bay, the back-to-back Cups in 2020 and 2021. Toronto, Austin Matthews. Vancouver, its talent finally playing to potential. Vegas, last season's Cup run. Washington, Alex Ovechkin. And Winnipeg, keeping some of the core together to remain competitive. Okay, a very quick news and notes. We are going to hold off on Survivor until maybe tomorrow's show. So we have some breaking news. Coming up in the NFL, according to Peter Schrager, but I haven't seen anything yet. But there's baseball news that broke this morning. Sonny Gray going to the Cardinals, 3 years, $75 million. So if the Cardinals revamping their rotation to get him and Kyle Gibson they picked up, and then they also picked up somebody else. I can't think of who it was, but 3 for $75 is pretty good for Sonny Gray. And then a big ballpark in St. Louis, too, on a team that is poised for a bounce-back season. And here's the breaking news that Peter Schrager was talking about. Frank Reich fired as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. This is no surprise. It's not even a one-and-done. He's this season's version of Nate Hackett. And then special teams coordinator Chris Tabor is the interim coach and is addressing the team now. And then Jim Caldwell moves to special advisor working with the offense. They should have made Jim Caldwell the interim coach. So it's honestly not surprising. We heard a week ago that he was on the hottest seat of any coach in the league, and then they lose to a bad Tennessee team, and he's fired. All right, Kenta Maeda, 2-year deal with the Tigers. Rashawn Gary got emotional after 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles on Thanksgiving. Dolphins fans literally invaded MetLife Stadium the other day. Amon-Ra St. Brown fined $43,000 after being punished for a block, as he for leading with the head. And then J.J. Watt ripped the fine on social media. The Steelers' offense, 400 yards for the first time since 2020. And then David Tepper dropped an F-bomb after the Panthers lost yesterday. So that's that. Draymond Green doesn't regret the situation with Rudy Gobert, apparently. The NBA is probing the Josh Giddey allegations as the league is investigating allegations that Giddey has been involved with an underage girl in an improper relationship. That's disgusting. That's like the Wander Franco situation with the Rays. Like, really, really bad. He's going to get in trouble for that. And so much for my pick for most improved player. Halftime shows in the NFL games. Jack Harlow's everybody hated, and everybody loved Dolly Parton's. The fire alarm went off during Red Zone as Scott Hansen stayed on the air, which was pretty interesting. And that was reported by, I think, Andrew Marchand. How about this? John Gruden's in play for Indiana's vacancy. That's disgusting. Like, Indiana has turned into a blast from the past program in both their football and basketball. Like, John Gruden and Mike Woodson. Like, come on. Like, that's old school. That would be the worst hire ever if they hired John Gruden. Like, I think that would be an epic fail. That would be worse than Herm Edwards with Arizona State. Texas A&M is hiring Mike Elko to be its next head coach. That's not surprising. Decent hire. He did a great job at Duke. Got a lot of teams to overachieve. And obviously Elko is the offensive coordinator at A&M, so that makes sense. Houston fires Dana Holgorsen. Not surprising. Mississippi State hires Jeff Lebby to be its next head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Lincoln Riley. For Oklahoma's coach, Brent Venables. So the buyout for Tom Allen went from $20.8 million to $15.5 million. How about this? Jalen Milroe says, "Give me the Heisman" after that comeback. James Madison becomes bowl eligible as they guaranteed bowl berth due to lack of 6-win teams. They should have been bowl eligible anyway. They're really good. But how about this? It was reported that A&M was going to hire Mark Stoops from Kentucky on Saturday night. And then it turned out to be a false report, so it was the college football version of Arson Judge. Deion Sanders says that Colorado is getting ready to start cooking after his first year in Boulder after they go 4-8. I mean, let's face it, that was disappointing considering that the season started off so well for them. Everyone's like, oh, what a great year for Colorado. Please, give me a break. Michigan's now the favorite to win it all. And then it was reported on Saturday that A&M would pursue Ryan Day if the Buckeyes lose to Michigan. But that turned out not to be true. Arch Manning made his debut against Texas Tech with Texas up big. A lot of big injuries yesterday. Myles Garrett said he felt something pop left in his left shoulder. Justin Jefferson expected to return after the Vikings bye, as he's unlikely to play tonight. We talked about that already. Chris Olave got ruled out with a concussion. Marshawn Lattimore on IR due to an ankle injury. We talked about Deontay Foreman already. Mecole Hardman on IR due to a thumb injury. Bad news for the Dolphins. Jalen Phillips tore his Achilles. He's out for the season. Just brutal. MetLife Stadium needs to change its grass. Joe Burrow to have wrist surgery, expect to make full recovery for 2024. Aaron Rodgers may practice this week. That's crazy. Pending a doctor's note. Like, I wouldn't come back if I'm Rodgers. You're out of it. Only for you to get hurt again. T. Higgins missed the Steelers game, as did Cam Taylor-Britt. Cooper Kupp did play on Sunday against the Cards. They were really good in that game. Devin Achane did not play in that Jets-Dolphins game. Kristaps Porzingis out a week or so with a calf injury, according to Joe Mazzulla. That's not good for Boston. Rui Hachimura out at least 1 week as he underwent nasal fracture surgery. Jalen Johnson out 4 to 6 weeks with a test revealed no fracture in the wrist. Kevin Durant didn't play in that Knicks game. We talked about that already. Shaq Leonard to visit the Cowboys. That would not surprise me. The Patriots started Max Jones, but Bailey Zappi played the second half. How about this? Deontay Johnson and Minka Fitzpatrick had a heated argument and had to be separated after the Browns game. Jack Del Rio got fired as the Washington defensive coordinator after the Thanksgiving loss. Mike Vrabel's job is safe, as the Titans believe they have the right coach for long-term success at a 3-7 season. I mean, they're right. If Mike Vrabel was fired, that would have been lunacy. After one bad season, that would have been a disaster for Tennessee. They need to keep Mike Vrabel at all costs. I know other teams are going to try to trade for him potentially, including the Patriots, but if you're Tennessee, you keep that guy around. There was a report that Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale were in a bad place and there could be a mutual parting of the ways, and then Brian Daboll downplayed it in the postgame. There probably was a confrontation or whatever, and Daboll's doing the right thing by not owning up to it because that's not his time or place after the game. Kevin Durant says the Nets refused to get rid of him and calls the move to Phoenix the perfect timing. Bad news for Michigan. Zach Zinter broke his leg as he will undergo surgery after suffering a broken tibia and fibula against Ohio State. That's brutal. I think that probably killed their national title hopes. Well, they probably don't deserve to win the title because they cheated this recently, so they probably don't deserve it anyway. But that's just brutal for that offensive lineman, though. Yankees signed 3 pitchers, Jordan Montgomery, Frankie Montas, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We saw Montas, he was a bust with the Yankees. Jordan Montgomery, coming off the great run. I think someone's going to overpay him, and he might be a bust with the big contract. We see that happen all the time. And then Yamamoto, to me, is the guy for them. He would make the most sense. He's probably the second best pitcher on the market behind Ohtani. And you could argue third behind Ohtani and Blake Snell. Because Yamamoto is just unproven. To me, he's another Masahiro Tanaka type of pitcher. Everyone says he's better, but I need to see it. And not that Tanaka was bad. I thought Tanaka was excellent. But that's just a safe comparison, in my opinion. There are 22 NFL scouts at Ohio State, Michigan, Pats, Giants, Raiders, among teams watching Marvin Harrison Jr., among others. Colorado loses a top 5 quarterback. They lose 4-star Antoine Hill decommits from the Buffaloes. There's a benches clearing in a college basketball game between Robert Morris and Jacksonville, as they had some guys tossed in that game. Blake Corum, the Michigan running back, says the job's not finished as he's not satisfied with beating Ohio State for the 3rd straight year. Good. I like that kind of talk from star players. All right, so that's it for the show. No best bet today because of me not being in a legalized betting state right now. So best bet returns to the Wednesday podcast. So we'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We have no portfolio either. We'll do that Wednesday. We'll recap Survivor on tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show is going to be probably half the time of this. So hope you guys have a great day, everyone.